Ideas All Day, a podcast where we, not experts, discuss our ideas and place them into piles, such as the good ideas pile, the bad ideas pile, and the ideas pile. Vroom, vroom, who's got the keys to the Jeep? Kate.
I thought it was broom, broom, who's got the keys to the Beamer?
That could be work. That works too.
That's what I just thought it was. But hi.
Hello. Life is a highway. Alex.
Well, how y'all doing? Going my way? I'll give you a ride.
That sounded creepy. Y'all kids going my way? I'm gonna ride.
Why did you have to bring kids into this?
All night long.
I was just a nice Southern boy.
Hey there, kids. You want to see my puppies and my candies in my van? Mm-hmm. I'm going for a ride.
You're Southern now?
Apparently so.
Okay.
I'll make you squeal like a piggy.
Good to know. And always giving that premium service, me, Ajax.
Now, is this full service?
It's always full service.
Mm-hmm.
Got the premium. Well, because today on Ideas All Day, this episode, we are talking about car accessories. Booyah.
Honk, honk.
All right, so first person up, Kate, what are your ideas?
So for my first vehicle accessory is an accessory I wish that would become standard on all vehicles. I absolutely hate halogen light bulbs for headlights. My car has them. They came standard. I hate it. I hate driving at night because of the halogen light bulbs. They always have horrible, horrible glare. And it's like, I think a car has high beams on and they don't. So then I'm the jerk who flashes my high beams to be like, hey, turn off your high beams. And then they flash back like, oh, you ain't seen nothing yet. So for my first idea, why don't we have anti-glare windshields? Like, why is that not a built-in feature to a windshield? I think that just makes sense. Why wouldn't you not have an anti-glare windshield? It's just something that could easily make a windshield even more safer and make a more pleasant driving experience. So idea number one, anti-glare windshields. Idea number two, this past year, I have spent several hundreds of dollars on tires because for whatever reason, I find all the nails and all the screws, and it's always in a place where it's like, well, we can't plug your tire because it's through the sidewall, so you're going to have to replace this tire. And by the way, due to the wear and tear and that you have a four-wheel drive car, you're going to need to buy 2 new tires for the tread so you don't mess up the alignment. If not 4 brand new tires because of one wheel getting a damn nail in it. So for my second idea, I thought, wouldn't it be kind of swell if your bumper had magnets that would be able to collect the nails and debris before you ran them over? I know I would need an engineer on this because I would want the magnet strong enough to pull up any kind of loose nail or loose debris, but I wouldn't want it too strong where it's like you drive over a manhole cover and all of a sudden you're like your car's going slower or your car's working harder because it's trying to outmuscle the manhole cover. And I also wanted to have like a switch that you can turn on or off. So then after you're done driving, you can then switch it off and then all the debris can come down and then you can collect debris up. So it like clears the magnet plate that you have in your bumper. So that was idea number 2. Idea number 3, I want a cow catcher on the front of my car. For those who don't know what a cow catcher is, it's the thing in front of a train that's like a V shape, and it's kind of like a plow. And what happens is if there's a lot of cows or animals on the track, the train could go slow and then kind of push the cows off the track without hurting them because they're going slow. I want that on my car. I want to be able to plow through deers, puppies, cats without hurting them, because I'm always close to getting myself into an accident because I'm slamming my brakes for a squirrel or trying not to hit a cat that's running across the road. If I had a cow catcher, I would feel a little bit better that I wouldn't like pancake animals. So yeah, a cow catcher. I want it on my car. If there's anyone out there who specializes in making cow catchers for small sedans, 4 doors, variety, let me know. Hit us up at ideasaldaypodcast@gmail.com. My next idea number 4, nothing ticks me off more than people who tailgate. Like, you're driving, the speed limit's like 50. You're going 60, 65. You're passing a car. And then there's some a-hole on your ass who wants to go 85 and is riding your ass until you can have the time to pass over to the right. I want to make an anti-tailgating device that sticks out 2 poles from your back bumper. And if the car behind you touches those poles, your car automatically just slows down even more. So the closer they are, the slower the car will be, and I'll just piss them off even more. And I kind of want them to have spikes on the end of them too, because then if they're touching them, they're causing damage to their car. It's like, if you're going to ride my ass, at least buy me a dinner first, you bastards. But I hate tailgaters, especially when I'm going over the speed limit. Leave me alone. I'm passing. I'll get out of your way soon enough. Stop going 90. There's no reason to go 90. Your tires are probably not graded for 90. That's how you get blowouts. That's how you have accidents. Get off my butt. And last but not least, idea number 5. Now, idea number 5 comes from my brother. Years ago, he had this idea. And it's basically a vehicle land anchor. And his idea was, if you're on a road, your car starts to lose control. There's certain roads that are super dangerous, that if you lose control, you can go off the side of a mountain, or if you lose control, you can go into a lake. And he wanted this device so that, worst case scenario, you can use this device and it'll prevent you from going off the road completely. And that's the land anchor. And what the land anchor does is, when you press the land anchor button, small explosions go off towards the back of your car, which then ejects a metal pole that then embeds itself into the road so that it stops your car from moving any further. So once again, this is like a last-ditch preventative measure from getting into a situation that would probably cause death. It will probably destroy the road in some way, shape, or form, but hey, it saved a life. And it's like a one-time use thing. It's kind of like airbags. It's a one-time use thing. Set off the charge, land anchor goes down, your car stopped, you survived, you can call for help. And those were my ideas.
All right, Kate, I guess it's my turn to file your ideas. So let's start with the first one, which was your anti-glare windshield, which I originally thought about this first, and I know there's some devices out there, but it doesn't cover the whole windshield. But I really do like this idea because I completely agree, especially for someone who does a lot of traveling, especially towards like sunset or sunrise, when you have the sun blaring in your face and you can't see shit, and there's nothing you can do about it because the sun visor at the top thing does not go down that far because that would be dangerous. You'd be blocking your visibility of the road. So you kind of just have to hope and pray the road meanders here and there just so you don't have to get, it straight onto your face. So I'm going to put this straight in the good ideas pile. So 100% agree. If it could work well enough to at least reduce glare or make it so it's bearable, along with like maybe wearing sunglasses or something, but not be pitch dark when you're wearing it, perfectly fine by me. For your second idea, the bumper magnets. I was kind of wondering how it would work. And I know you kind of made the caveat it needs to be high power. It would probably have to be electromagnetic if you're going to have a switch that is going to turn it off. But I'm only going to put this in the ideas pile for a couple reasons. Number one, it's going to kill your battery. For a magnet that powerful, it's going to take a lot of energy, especially because you're going to be having it run the whole time, I assume, while you're driving. Because if you can't anticipate when you're going to see a nail. There's certain things you can do where you're going past a construction zone or certain things, but you could have a nail in the road that is in an area you don't expect. Come falling off a garbage truck.
Wouldn't it run off the alternator?
Yeah, but you're still going to run out of batteries because there's
still more juice.
And your alternator is only going to recharge it when you're braking and doing things like that. The alternator doesn't like continuously generate power all the time. Well, but either way, I still think, good luck for free energy, I guess. Either way, it's still probably going to eat up your thing. Secondly, you got to worry about if it's still a lot, it either has to be really far out from your car or else you could have nails flinging towards yourself if it's powerful enough. Well, not towards your windshield, but towards your car, and even potentially right into the tires themselves. So again, I'm a little concerned with that aspect, especially if you go to some area where it has a lot, which likelihood you're going to probably get nails on there anyways, but it seems like it's just drawing it towards you rather than just trying to get out of the way if there's a lot. It's an idea, not saying no, but I just don't see total viability of it. But the core idea and what it's trying to achieve, I can appreciate. For your third idea, the cow catcher. I just don't know why you would want this. I mean, this is a bad idea. I mean, for one, half the time if you're getting close to a cow or a deer or something, the cow you'll see coming most likely if they're in the road. The deer is probably coming out of nowhere and you don't have time to slow down. It's still going to hit you. It could still fly with the way those are shaped. It's probably still going to fly up over into the windshield. It's not going to deflect it off. It's going up and over. Like maybe a bigger truck might be able to handle that, and it might fly off the side or not do enough damage. But I don't see the viability. Anyway, on to your next idea, number 4, which is your anti-tailgating poles, which I had a hard time kind of thinking about because all I can imagine is like literally how long were the poles?
I didn't say how long.
You just had 2 poles.
So I'm thinking like 3 feet.
3
feet. Even because anything closer than 3 feet, that's like I can work with 3 feet. I can't work with you right on my ass.
Okay. Number 1, I would definitely don't like the fact that there's poles on it. Because 3 foot long poles, because when you turn with these poles extended, you're smacking people in next to you if you're going down the street. Yes, this is more geared towards, on the highways and things of that nature. But I'm just saying, if you have to take a turn into an exit or something like that, and you still have them extended out, you're smacking them, and then you're all of a sudden slowing down for no reason.
I don't see how the poles are hitting other things. But
I can.
A car that's behind them. I don't see how pedestrians or any other. It's 3 feet. They're firm poles. They're not like noodles.
Firm poles.
I'd rather have noodles.
Yeah.
You'd rather have noodles?
Yeah. I don't see why you couldn't have done this with like a radar detection system rather than poles. Like have it controlled by a computer where if it gets close, you start slowing down slightly. Because the other thing is like, how fast are you slowing down? Is it ever so slightly? Is the person going to have enough time to react? Because then you're putting yourself and the other driver and potentially the other people on the road in danger if you slow down too fast or they don't notice you slowing down.
Oh wait, isn't this a slow down beam?
Yeah, these are slow down beams.
One, I am not a scientist. Two, it would have been a gradual slowing down, about 5 miles per hour each time you bump the pole.
But again, that's still a significant amount if they're going that fast, where if they don't like react in time, they could smash the back end of your car, potentially harming you, harming them, or God forbid it even gets worse and have other people get harmed.
It's better than brake checking now.
Oh, agreed. But you shouldn't be brake checking anyways. You know, they're being an ass. You don't have to be an ass for them.
Then
You
don't
might
be
need to have a
riding.
liability waiver with these,
Yeah.
or like some
Yeah,
sort of
exactly.
insurance policy.
This feels like an accident, like creation waiting to happen, is what my feeling is. So I got to put this in the bad ideas pile. Like, it just feels like there's better ways to do it. You know, you could have a little, like, why not have a light on the back of your car, radar light saying you're within 3 feet, that lights up when they're there. That they can probably can see it because they can read it. They're that close, and they know maybe I'm a bit too close for safety. Why not do something like that? Still does the trick. You're not slowing down, but if they stay that close and they're seeing that on the back of your car, that's on them.
Or it does the opposite, where it's like, let me see if I can trigger their light again. Let's see if I can get even closer than 3 feet.
Yeah, but then,
you can tack them with like lights that might cause seizures or something like that.
So now we're giving people seizures.
No, don't give people seizures.
While they're trying.
I'm just saying. But the same thing is, you can go with, oh, can I get close enough to tap the poles before they, you know, that's what I mean. It's like you can apply this the same to your idea.
Ooh, I'm gonna go play tap Kate's
Tap the
poles.
Will you stop touching my poles, please? That's not what they're there for.
Exactly. Slow down. If you're tapping the pole, you're got.
If you tap
slow
my
down.
pole, I am going to slow down and make this a longer experience than it was previously intended to be.
Exactly. All right, but yeah, I'm just gonna put this in the bad ideas pile. I just feel it's a dangerous idea. Sorry, it's just how I feel.
That's fine.
Right. And for your last idea, the land anchor. I have to put this in the bad ideas pile, kind of for a somewhat similar reason, but not quite. Again, I understand what it's trying to accomplish. It's trying to do something that's could save your life. But again, you're relying on one, explosive devices. If it's got to have that much force that it can drive into the concrete, that's pretty darn dangerous versus like dirt or something like that. Two, there's no guarantee that it's even going to stop it, just because if it starts tearing up the road, that means you're still not stopping.
I just thought of something. This would also make for a great anti-tailgating device. You could put a sticker on the bumper that says something like explosives, danger explosives, so no one wants to rear end you.
Keep away, land anchor deployment may happen.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, still very concerning. Sudden stops don't exactly always help, but nonetheless, we're going to go with what you described specifically, where you're in a situation, you lose control, you deploy these 2 poles that via explosives.
I didn't say 2
or whatever. Okay, you deploy this device via explosives down into the road, which, number one, is it going to be actually, while you're moving, it's going downward. Is it going to have enough energy to go through that, number one? Which I would hope if they're going to test it out and sell it, they would, but okay. Let's assume they do. Does it stop you immediately? So that causes not only potentially whiplash, which, okay, that's what seatbelts are for, so you should be wearing a seatbelt. So you should be wearing a seatbelt, but it's still a very sudden stop where you're going from potentially 70 miles per hour, 75 miles per hour if you're at top kind of legal speed. Not really legal speed, but kind of legal speed, and going to nothing, very, very short. That could cause some real internal damage. But again, it's here to save lives. Also,
your headrest does more to prevent whiplash than your seatbelt.
Yeah. No. I'm saying causing, like, I'm not. Don't forget, your head's going forward because you're stopping. Your body is still moving forward.
Yeah, but then you come back, and that's where the whip comes in. And when you whip back, then you hit your head on the headrest, which prevents your neck from going.
Whiplash is the least of our concerns here.
It's a concern, though. I just want to.
Is it a concern?
Shout out to headrests. Thank you for doing your job in headrest whiplash prevention.
Headrests.com.
So again, as I was saying, you slam into this and then hope that you stop in time before whatever it is you're concerned about hitting or going over the edge of. Thirdly, actually, the damage it could potentially do to the road. Let's say it actually does what it does on the tin, smashes into the road to stop you. The problem is, obviously, number one, if there's anyone immediately behind you within a sudden distance that has either swerve out of the way or could hit you. But okay, that's just a danger of this kind of situation. But at the same time, if you're destroying the road, if someone goes past that, they could potentially have an issue themselves that they weren't anticipating. And along with whatever it is that's occurring, like a slippery road or something like that. So they have not only the same situation you're in, but also a damaged road that who knows if they'll be able to stop. So again, and then if this happens a lot, the amount of infrastructure damage is insane.
Who's paying for all that?
Yeah.
How much is the cost of a life?
$3.
Well, then.
How much was it when you? Yeah, I mean, I was what, $4 to get out of the hospital.
Oh, Miss Moneybags over here.
I know, seriously, geez.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm going to put this in the bad ideas pile because I feel it's too dangerous. I worry about injury from both yourself, other people, and then the damage to the road, injuring other people, like later drivers. That's just how I feel. That's science.
You feel science.
Got to feel the science.
Thanks, Alex.
You're welcome, Kate.
Ajax, why don't you give us your pilings?
Oh, I will be glad to give you my pilings. So for your first idea, Kate, is the anti-glare windshield. I put this in the good ideas pile. It'd be very beneficial. Driving at night, driving during the day, during sun hours, can have window tint for sunlight.
I was kind of thinking about that, like transitional lenses where they have it like when there's light, it gets dark, but when it's not dark, it's light. But I thought that might be a little too much of an obstruction in driving. So I was just sticking with the anti-glare coating to lessen the glare effect.
It's like an option on your window.
An option.
I'll take the anti-glare, please. I'll take that. All right, so for your second idea of bumper magnets, I put this in the ideas pile, mostly because I would never remember to turn them on. I'd be like, oh, and you have the switch there that you have to turn the bumper magnets on and off. I would totally forget about this maintenance, this process, and then they would just be never used, and then I just wasted money by buying bumper magnets. And also, you got to clean off the bumper magnets too. That's effort. Because of the work, I'm going to put in the ideas pile. If it was self-cleaning bumper magnets, I might change the idea a little bit. Idea pile for bumper magnets. For your third idea of the cow catcher, I was just thinking that if you went really fast on the road with the cow catcher, that you might impale an animal with it. I was just kind of because I'm typically going fast on the highway, and if I was driving down, they usually have a point to them. So I feel like I would do more harm to the animal than not. I feel like the cow catchers are good for when you have like herds and you're going rather slowly.
On the flip side, if that's the case, if you like are driving down a highway going 75 miles per hour, and you have a cow catcher and a deer pops up, maybe splitting the deer in half is a lot more humane than like clipping it and having it run into the woods and die a slow and painful death. And
so
also,
how are you going to clean up a half a deer?
Also, if you split it in half, maybe there's less damage to your car then, compared to like just taking the full brunt of the deer on your car.
Okay.
I'm just saying ideas out loud.
All
I don't
right,
know
well,
if this is anything at all.
I'm putting this in the ideas pile, leaning towards bad, just because it was, if you're driving fast, and Kate, you like to drive fast sometimes, you just might have impaled animals on your car.
I do not break any laws whatsoever. I obey all traffic laws. I do not speed or pass with the non-dotted lines.
Yeah, so then for your fourth idea of the anti-tailing device, I put this strictly in the bad ideas pile. I just thought you're going to be parallel parking and you're going to completely wipe out grandma. Like she's just walking there and you're like, oh, take out grandma at the knees.
I feel like they're retractable.
You never said retractable. You just
I
said
feel like you can
poles.
retractable.
Nope, you never said retractable.
I want them retractable now.
Nope, too late. You had
Like
you
you
presented your
employ
idea.
them when you feel like someone's tailgating you.
Or
as
when a
like,
grandma
woman.
needs to be tipped over.
Or when you want to take out a grandma. She shouldn't be crossing the street where there's a parking spot. She should be parking, or she should be crossing at the crosswalk. Grandma, follow the road rules, just
She
like
couldn't
everybody
see
else.
'em. Yeah, all right. And for your vehicle, oh, actually, Shane's vehicle land anchor idea that possibly destroys everything
world.
in the world. And like, the only thing I was thinking about is like, what if it was a deployed and like, as you're going super fast and it goes jammed it in the ground and then you just go through the windshield because you forgot to put on your seatbelt. I was very concerned, actually, but you should wear your seatbelt when you're using the land anchor device.
Always wear your seatbelt, listening audience. If you have not taken anything from this episode, wear your seatbelt. I have seen someone get put through their own windshield before. It is not an experience I would ever want to go through or witness again. Wear your damn seatbelts.
Yeah, especially when using the land anchor.
Even if you're not using the land anchor, wear your damn seatbelt.
Like, what if you were going to roll off a cliff and the land anchor needed to be deployed coming from the roof? Is this a land anchor that can be shot out from any position?
Why would it need to be shot out from the roof?
Because, like, what if you're about to roll off the side of a mountain? And you're rolling, your car's rolling, and then you're like, I gotta stick on land.
You should have deployed the land anchor before you rolled off the side of the road.
What if you missed that opportunity?
Then you're it doesn't have to deal with my land anchor. That's a different accessory.
What
the
if
roof anchor?
Nope. See, what if you're going down the road, then someone's coming the same direction as you with their cow tipper on, and since it's got that angle, you had to try to swerve to avoid it, but you hit the side of it, which is at angles. You go up and start flipping, so you have no way of deploying that land anchor.
And what if you also hit the button for the magnet at the same time?
They're not located in the same area.
But what if?
You can what if all day. That's not the idea. The idea is a device that explodes, that jets out a land anchor spike to stop you from going any further in your car. Ajax, you're piling, please.
Idea.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for your ideas.
Thank you. Thank you for your pilings.
Thank you.
But don't thank Alex. He's the worst.
Thanks, Alex.
What did I just say?
Thanks, Ajax.
Alex, why don't you do your ideas?
Yeah, I guess I can do that. So for my first idea, I really want to start off with a bang. And something that is something we've all seen on the road to a degree are those like accessories, like, those reindeer accessories in Christmas time where people put their noses and they put the antlers on them. And I was thinking, that's kind of boring, number one. Number two, you really can't do that all year, right? I mean, no, you're not going to have a reindeer thing in July. No one's doing that kind of stuff. I mean, if you do, people are going to look at you a little funny because they're going, dude, take it down. It's not Christmas. Take it down. And they really don't do a lot of other versions of that.
Like the wreath.
Well, that's what I mean. They're always Christmas or something like that. There's not an all year round car accessory, so you can truly feel like your car is one of a kind and special. So what I propose is an accessory that goes on the top of your car, covers the whole roof and flows down around the sides, and it looks like the mullet from Joe Dirt. So you got to just think of the big old business in the front, party in the back, but it looks like the wig from Joe Dirt, his mullet, but it's the top of your car. So for my second idea, a lot of people have those covers for their steering wheel. So usually there to keep them warm, keep it from anti-slip devices. But it's not very personal. It's it's utilitarian. Don't get me wrong. It's got a purpose. Sometimes you can get like designs on it, flowers, but it's not personal. It doesn't make you feel a connection with your car. So what I propose are wheel covers that have protruding from the front of them fingers. Specifically so you can grasp the fingers like you're on like this. If you could see, it's like you're grasping another person's fingers and intertwining them together. Yes, Ajax?
Is it all fingers surrounding the whole entire steering wheel, or is it just 10 or 5? How many fingers?
I would say normal, only in the 10 and 2 position where you're normally going to have your hands. Because more than that would kind of be a little weird, if you ask me. I mean, nobody has more than 10 fingers typically. So if you have fingers all around, it looks kind of weird. So I just want those fingers sitting out front, so it's like you're holding hands with somebody while you're driving. Holding hands with your car, really. Now for my third idea, kind of giving that personal note, but it's not you getting used to your car, but you feeling closer to someone that we all know and love. And that person is Ryan Reynolds. What I'm proposing is having a seat cover that goes on top of the driver's seat, but it looks like Ryan Reynolds, like facing forward, full body face. The headrest has the face on it, but it also has a seatbelt cover that is essentially like an arm. So it's like his arm is going across your chest, reaching down, supporting you, comforting you, making you feel safe, just like Ryan Reynolds should and really does all the time. Yes, Ajax.
Can you get the version that Gooch tickles?
Well, this is just a seat cover. If you have a Gooch tickler, that would be a different device.
If you get the 5-point harness, like seatbelt harness, you could then get it like a Gooch tickle.
Yeah. Oh, version. Yeah.
You can make it look like the hands coming up from betwixt the legs.
No, it's the hands coming up from the top, the legs coming up from underneath, and then you have something else coming up from the middle. We're not going to say what that is. We'll let your imagination do the, think of that one.
Up the middle.
Exactly. So yeah, that's my third idea. For my fourth idea, something a little bit more practical. One thing we all can agree on is when you're in your car, you're driving, especially the long drives, you're probably going to stop to get something to eat. You're either going to get a burger, drink, or maybe it's morning time and you're getting your cup of coffee and a sandwich. But one thing that always happens, and at least with me, is I don't always finish my drink right away. And then either my coffee gets cold or my drink gets warm and stale. And then I'm sitting there forgetting it's stale or forgetting it's cold and sipping on it like ugh. It's disgusting. So what I'm proposing is basically a climate controlled cup holders. So essentially you have a little dial while your cup holder that you can adjust to warm or cold, and it kind of heats or cools where inside the cup holder itself. It could be where it's something that actually encapsulates the whole thing, but I prefer to keep it open, honestly, even though it's not gonna protect it forever. But if it keeps it either hotter longer or keeps your drink colder for longer, it's still gonna do the trick for those longer drives, and at least a little bit more enjoyable, if you ask me. So that's the fourth idea. And for my last idea, keep it with that personal touch between you and the car, or you and another person, is, again, on those long hauls, especially like myself, I tend to drive a lot by myself. I don't usually have a lot of passengers, and it can get rather lonely on those long drives. If I'm visiting these guys and it's 4 hours of just me by myself in the car, listen to the radio is great and all, but it gets boring. So what I propose is having a custom-made inflatable passenger, so that you always have someone there to keep you company. Plus, it could also, for an extra fee, of course, have the karaoke option. So it has a device that kind of like Spotify kind of style, where it can, if you're listening to the radio or music's coming through, if it can detect that not only it's playing, that you're also singing along, it'll sing along with you. So you have a little, karaoke partner in the car. So it just feels like a little extra special, a little less lonely on these long drives. And those are my ideas.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Ajax.
I guess it's my time to pile them. So, Alex, for your first idea of having your car decorated as the mullet from Joe Dirt, the first thing I just got envisioned in my head was pretty much the Dumb and Dumber car with the dog mobile. That was the only thing that I got stuck in my head, and I could not get that out of my head. For myself, I would probably prefer not to get this model of decor. I feel like the bangs would get in the way of the steering wheel a lot. Do they make large barrettes?
Steering wheel? Why would it be in the way of the steering
wheel? The windshield. So, like, will the hair droop?
No, well, the hair doesn't droop for Joe Dirt. It doesn't.
But will the back droop? Will it be in the back? Will the back be covered?
Oh, no. It has the cutout, so it makes sure, because it should flow down the sides and then, like, kind of have the window for the cutout, and then it still goes down. But your back windshield is still going to be visible and intact. I'm not compromising anyone's safety for a decorative item, essentially.
Okay, but like, do you have to move the hair to open the car doors?
No, because the front's it's all business. It's short. That's the whole point of a mullet.
All right, I'll just put this in the ideas pile right now because I'm not quite sure what it looks. I'm not quite 100% sure on it.
Look at Joe Dirt. Imagine that. His hair on your car. Done.
I mean, if it's a little wig, it's all right. I'll just put in the ideas pile. I feel nothing towards it. David Spade, thank you. But I still feel nothing towards it.
Okay.
So I'm just going medium. Ideas pile. The wheel cover with fingers in the 10 and 2 position. I put this in ideas leaning towards bad just because I would get distracted by my steering wheel. I'd be like, look at these fingers here. Oh, I get to play with the fingers when I'm driving down. Oh, we're holding hands. Oh boy. I feel like I'll get into my own finger with steering wheel story and go off the side of the road in the first 5 minutes of me driving this. So ideas lean towards bad just because I feel like for myself, it'll be a complete big distraction device and people may die.
Wow.
That's what I'm envisioning with this situation of the finger wheel. The seat cover that is in the driver's seat with Ryan Reynolds up the middle, as we always say. I don't typically get it, but I love it. It's going automatically good ideas pile because it's Ryan Reynolds and he's in your car. I don't quite understand it, but good idea.
You don't need to understand it. Just know that it exists and it's there to love you.
I know.
And support you.
That's all I could ever ask for.
Yeah. That's all we can all ask for.
For your fourth idea of climate-controlled cup holders, I like this idea. I think this is something I would like to probably stick my hand in the cup holder sometimes if I need some climate control in my hand. That doesn't have to be just like cup and climate control yourself.
Nice.
Yeah, I will. I'll put this in the good ideas pile.
I like it.
Nice, thanks. And your custom-made inflatable passenger. This one I'm going to put into ideas leaning towards bad, mostly because I feel like you'll get people driving by and like just staring just to see what is sitting in your passenger seat of your car, and there might be more accidents. So just because of the accidents.
Yeah, well, they shouldn't be. They're supposed to be keeping their eyes on the road, not what's in my car.
They should be, but if you have tempting things to look at,
well,
I would look at them. And those are my pilings.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I guess it's my turn to do some pilings. Alex, for your first idea, the mullet from Joe Dirt car cover. First off, if you haven't seen Joe Dirt, it's one of my biggest guilty pleasures. I absolutely love Joe Dirt. If you have a chance to watch it, David Spade at his finest.
He loves you too.
I love this movie. There's so many actors in this movie. It's ridiculous. It is great. I like this idea. I'm going to put in the ideas pile leaning towards good because as much as I like it, I don't think it would be something that I would get for my car. And plus I have a sunroof, so I don't know if that would impede my ability to access my sunroof or not.
It probably would, to be honest, unless it's
Yeah.
like flips open, but then
Yeah.
it would look a little strange. And also,
Yeah.
his hair never came off, so it shouldn't come off on yours.
I know.
You didn't mention the sideburns.
They are impressive sideburns.
Exactly.
But it is a great movie. Ideas leaning towards good. I could see some people buying this and using it. I just would not be the one. For your next idea, steering wheel cover with fingers. I absolutely hate this. And I hate this because I find that I would probably love it because I'm so lonely and I have a lack of hand holding in my life that I would probably get some sort of emotional
Support.
support and comfort out of a steering wheel that has fingers that I can intertwine my fingers with. So this is going in the ideas pile. The only concern I have is if you had to switch your hand position quickly from 10 and 2, it might be a little bit more difficult to disengage from the fingers to then readjust your hands in a way that need to be readjusted. But other than that, I am embarrassed to say I would probably enjoy this product.
What if I was just thinking of this? What so like because that was a thought I had. But what if when you turn it, the hands themselves or the fingers themselves, if they have an like can rotate, like they're on an axle or pivot. So when you turn, your hand never has to like
a steering knob.
Like a steering knob. Yes.
I love steering knobs.
She loves steering knobs.
Yes.
I
So
do.
you're always constantly holding hands.
You'll love it.
It's definitely an idea. I would probably buy this. I would probably use it and be embarrassed from the fact that I feel less lonely as a result. Speaking of feeling less lonely as a result, idea number 3, Ryan Reynolds seat cover. Yes. I would buy this. I would use this. Blake Lively, I'm so sorry we sexualize your husband so much on this podcast, but he is just who he is. And you married him for a reason, and you know why you married him. The rest of us are jealous as a result. So yes, definitely. I would want Ryan Reynolds to secure me in my seat as I'm driving places. And look like I'm sitting on his lap while I'm driving. That's fine. Yes, absolutely. Idea number 4, climate controlled cup holders. I like this idea. It's going in the good ideas pile. But I was even thinking, instead of having like a climate control, cool, hot setting, maybe if the cup holders were just made out of a better insulated material, because cup holders you have now are just the molded plastic that the interior is made out of. So if you had like a Yeti or a like a hydro flask kind of material in your cup holder, then maybe that would do the job without any additional electronics and such. But either way, definitely a good idea. I like this idea. I would utilize it in my car if I had it. So yes, good idea.
Definitely.
Idea number 5, inflatable passenger. This is going in the ideas pile, leaning towards that. And the reason that it's even in the ideas pile is that as a single female who drives alone at night, sometimes it would behoove me to give the appearance that I'm not alone in my car. So having a dummy passenger might prevent me from being a victim of a circumstance that I don't want to be a victim of. So that might be a positive. But on the flip side, it's going to freak me out every time I look over to change lanes and be like, that's right, the dummy's next to me. I'd be like, who the hell are you? Get out of my car. Or like if I go into a restaurant or a store and I come back and I see a body in my front seat, it's going to be like, who the hell is that? Why is there someone in my car? There would totally be a period of adjustment to be like, that's my inflatable buddy. I forgot. And those are my pilings.
Thanks, Kate.
You're welcome.
All right. So I guess it is my turn to give ideas. So actually, to go along the line of Alex's idea, same category of cup holders. When I have cups that fit in my car, I've got a Monster Hydro Flask water bottle.
And just to let our listeners know, we are not sponsored by Yeti or Hydro Flask, but Yeti and Hydro Flask. If you do want to sponsor us, please reach out to us at ideasalldaypodcast@gmail.com.
So along the lines of cup holders, I would love to have a cup holder that fits any size cup, because I often come into a car where my bottle's either too big or the bottle's too small, and it doesn't ever have a nice fit to it. So I would like a form-fitting cup holder. If it had the feature of Alex's cooling and heating option, that would be a cool option to have. How I'm thinking about this, that it might work, is it'd be like a pretty decent size console, but with like a silicone insert that can fit your relatively large cups, but the silicone insert can be size adjusting, so it could then fit your any size cup that you could possibly have. So that is my first idea, are cup holders for any size cups. I might need an engineer to have the best model, but idea number uno. Idea number dos. I would love to have for a car an interchangeable console system. There always seems to be, like, you got your stereo, you've got your air blowers, you've got all these different things, but I don't feel like they're ever consistently in the same places. I would like to have a shape-shiftable cockpit seat, either on the passenger or driver seat, where you can arrange your stereo, your air, all the different buttons and doodads that you have there. It'd be cool if you could interchange them and like move them around to have it just your fit, just your style of car cockpittery. So that's my second idea. For my third idea, I would like seat covers with moon mat inserts, because I feel like, you're sitting sitting in the car seat for quite some time for those long miles. I've sat on a moon mat before, and I folded it up and put it in my seat. It's very unwieldy and it takes up a lot of space. But if you could get moon mat inserts to put in a preformed car seat structure, then you can have moon mat in the areas that you want to have it, and it'll be squishy and it won't move around too much because it'll be in a specific pouch zone for your car seat. All right, for my fourth idea, I would like to have space in my car for additional accessories. One of these things for like on long road trips, I would like a space for a popcorn popper or a hot dog cooker. Like in my current car situation, there's enough space in the passenger seat for a person, but there's really not a lot of space for other accessories that might be beneficial during a long car ride, like snacks and things to make snacks on. So I would like just have space, and in that space, maybe I'll put a hot dog cooker, a popcorn popper. Who knows, maybe an Instapot, a rice cooker. You never know. There could be some things that you can make while you're on the road and you're driving, and you can just cook it right there while you're driving. So there, that's what I want for my fourth idea. For my fifth idea, I really wanted a space for a umbrella compartment. And because sometimes when you're walking, you got your umbrella and it's all wet from just walking through a sudden shower, and you're like, where you open your car, like, what do you do with your umbrella when you get to the car? You have to like fold it up quickly and close it when you're in the middle of a downpour. What I would like is just a little cabinet where you can quickly slide your umbrella into, saving time so you're not getting yourself drenched in the current downpour that you're standing in. So close up your umbrella, put it in the slot, close the door, you're ready to go. You don't have to worry about putting your umbrella in the floor across from you, you're getting your seat all sloppy wet from all the rain. So yeah, an umbrella compartment. For my sixth idea, I would like a mobile pole studio within my car. This is going to be a car a little bit larger, with the seats a little bit separated, but I would like to have a pole in the car for activities. Yeah, just a pole. It might be rather short, but just a little stage and a place to dance. Get a little pole in there, turn the tunes. It's a good time. So it's an option for a fancier luxury vehicle. And for my seventh And final idea, I would like a car desk, a desk that I can attach it to my window or somehow set it up inside my car in order to eat my fast food that I just got, to do some work on a computer that I have to do. A little desk that can be available for all of your sitting at your car needs. Also, I was thinking about it'd be cool if it was wired, to have a USB out port so you can plug in your accessories as well. So it's, got everything all nice, tight, and controlled in your little car lap desk. And those are my ideas.
Thanks, Ajax.
You're welcome.
I'm going to run down your ideas and pile them first.
Run them.
All right. For your first one, cup holder that fits any size cup. Yes. Great idea. Love this idea. I too have large water bottles that don't fit stereotypical cup holders, and it's always a pain. So yes, good idea pile. Interchangeable console. I'm going to put this in the ideas pile. I can see this working as technology continues to go further and further to digital, to touch screens, that we're going to be able to set up our console like we do apps on a phone or apps on a tablet. We're going to be able to do that with our cars, but like changing where the vents go and changing like actual physical buttons that's not going to be like an easy plug and play situation.
This is of the future.
Yeah. If it's like a digital interface that's like basically a touch screen, yes, great. But as of right now, as of today, I can't move my AC button, and I can't think of a feasible way where I can just pull the button out and place it in another spot.
I know. I should have
recognize that.
The future.
Yeah. That's okay. So ideas. Seat cover with moon mat insert. Yes, good idea. If you don't mind destroying one of your moon mats, we can probably make this happen in the near future. Once I get my sewing machine up and running, we could probably create this and actually use it today. Not today, but as soon as I can put together something.
Not today.
Yeah, this is definitely a feasible thing. Moon mat. We're not sponsored by Moon Mat, but Moon Mat, if you want to sponsor us, please, please, please hit us up at ideasalldaypodcast@gmail.com. We love your products. But yeah, good ideas pile. Space for accessories. I like this idea. I'm going to put this in the ideas pile leaning towards good, because I wish my car had things like a hot dog maker or like a George Foreman or a baking thing or something like that. I remember The Simpsons did an episode where Homer hooked up a easy bake oven in his car, and I thought that is awesome. You're going somewhere to a party and you're like, oh, I have to make cookies. You can make cookies on the ride there.
Bread.
Super fresh. Where I'm thinking where you can put this, maybe like in the floorboards. Maybe you can make the frame of the car a little wider, and then you can put appliances under your feet almost. And then that way it's not taking any cabin space away, and it's neatly away while it's happening, but then you can access it between your legs. I don't know. It's just an idea. You know how I like food delivery between my legs?
I mean, if we have to have food delivery between our legs, that's always a good option.
Yes. So ideas leaning towards good. We need an engineer on this, but I like having the ability to make snacks and food on the road. And for ideas 5, 6, and 7, I have good news for you, Ajax. These exist already. I don't know if it's Mercedes-Benz or BMW. They do have a built-in umbrella holder.
Rolls-Royce has one
in their car door.
But it's a big, tall, long umbrella. I don't use those that often.
Yeah,
I just want an umbrella with a short one.
The technology is there. It is totally doable. So I'm going to put that.
And wait, we're not like Rolls-Royces. We're not sponsored by Rolls-Royce at all. But if they would,
I don't think Rolls-Royce would even look at us to sponsor us. They don't need.
But if
help.
they want to look at us to sponsor us, find us at ideasallday.podcast@gmail.com.
So ideas, the concept's there. It's in use right now. It just needs to get into use with other cars. Mobile pole studio. Have you never been on a stripper bus before?
No, I want one like of regular car size. I don't want one of like a big bus
Oh.
size. I want a shorty.
No, and then this is going to bad ideas. How do you do anything with that short ass pole?
Anything.
You can't. No.
It's possible.
Bad,
You got space. You got seat size, and you got a little bit of foot room, like the same
nah.
height from the floor to the.
Bad
I can
idea.
make it work.
You can make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
I definitely can't make it work. Bad idea.
Well, then you just need a taller car.
Exactly, like a stripper bus.
Fine, you can have a stripper bus. I will take the stripper car.
I want a full size pole.
Fine, you can have a full size pole in yours.
I can't do anything with 4 feet of pole.
Well, then you get a bigger one.
3 feet of pole. I don't even know how much like room you have in a car to put a pole.
At least like 3.5 feet.
That's not a lot to do on a pole.
There's tons of space, tons of room for activities.
All of our pole enthusiasts out there, please leave a comment and let us know if you think that's enough space to do any pole activities.
There's tons of space. So much room for activities.
Bad idea. Your last idea, the car desk, this is in existence. You can buy a car desk for your car. So it's an idea. And those are my pilings.
Thanks, Kate.
No, thank you.
All right. So Ajax, now it's my turn to tear apart your ideas one by one.
One by one.
And starting off with idea number 1, your one size fits all cup holder. Yeah, of course it's a good idea. I mean, especially as long as it doesn't like interfere with like your shifter, if you have that style, or like encroach on someone's seats. Yeah, absolutely. This is a great idea. Especially nowadays, everyone's getting those larger and larger size water bottles. 100%. It prevents things from rolling around. You have easy access to it. 100%. They should be working on that now in some way, shape, or form, or at least have that as an option. So yeah, good idea. Your second idea of the interchangeable console interior stuff. I'm going to put this in the ideas pile. I think it's a cool idea, like to have that kind of customizability. I think a lot of people would be, whether it's like actually physically putting it in and having some way where, other than the vents, because you really can't change the vents, but electronics you can move around as long as the spot that where everything connects into in the car is in the same spot for each of the whatever you're changing in is the same. You could kind of do that. Well, even the console part, if it was digital, can mess around with. But the only issue I've got with this is actually because if you're changing it constantly, could mean you don't know where all the things are. And if you don't know where your speedometer is, you don't know where your thing is. I know whenever I get a new car, or drive a rental car, I have a hard time finding where everything is. And if I'm doing this every single time, I might get distracted on the road, and that's a dangerous thing.
This is where I actually had this. This is an option where these can be presets. So if there's another driver, you can have another set where you push the button and it changes to it.
Nope.
That's what my car currently has for the seat position.
I'm going to say no to that and just stick with my original thing. But yeah, it's going in ideas pile because, again, cool idea. Just I'd be worried about its safety a little bit, but I like it overall. Third idea, moon mat seat inserts, of course, is a good idea. Moon mats are great. They're comfortable, durable. I don't see why not. So again, you get 100% moon mat approval from Alec.
Best day ever.
Best day ever. I'm glad you said that because it's all downhill from here. Because on to your fourth idea with your storage space / hot dog Instapot. I mean, I put this in the ideas going towards bad, but this is not a good idea. Like, I'm all for storage space, which is why I'm not putting in the bad idea. But to have like a hot dog maker, an Instapot, or to have something to cook with, not only is it dangerous, it's distracting. Again, you're trying to reach in, get a hot dog off the hot dog, the spinners, your 7-Eleven hot dog cooker that is hot. Number one, if you touch the things, then you got to find a bun. Where is that? It's all over the place. This is bad enough with, a cell phone distracting you. Now you've got freaking a popcorn maker popping. Oh, you got an Instapot and you got a beef, like you got some nacho cheese in there. And you're saying, this is just weird. So no, I like the storage space part of it. Everything else, no. No.
You don't get any nachos then.
No, I'll get the nachos when I get to the restaurant. How about that one? Or when I get home.
Fine, you get home nachos.
Exactly. So for your third idea, the umbrella compartment, again, I mean, if you're looking for a small umbrella, you can stick that sucker right in the cup holder. If it's just the tiny one that you're talking about, the hand size one, right? Is that what you talked about?
No, like a regular.
Yeah. Yes. And when they're retracted, they're about yay big. It can fit in a cup holder.
I don't want to put my umbrella in a cup holder when I got cups.
Okay, yeah, if you have a ton of cups, but sometimes there's like those the compartments on the side of the door too that you can put it in. Again, there's a lot of spaces that you could potentially put it in. To have a dedicated one, I mean, it seems kind of weird to me. So if it's something that you really, really need, okay, fine. But I'm going to put this in just the ideas pile because it's an idea, but I don't necessarily agree with it. All right, your pole in a car. No. Just straight up no. Not even like, I understand where Kate's going with the stripper van. I get that because you could stand up. But in a regular car, number one, you've got a pole in the middle of your thing. So God forbid you're in an accident, someone smacks into the pole. Number two, if someone's actually using the pole, which I have no idea how they would do it, that means they're not buckled. Accident, safety, bad. So many reasons. And God forbid, oh, and then all of a sudden you got someone spinning on the pole. Someone on the other side next to you sees someone spinning, just looking around, looking over, getting distracted, smacks into somebody else. There's so many bad things about this whole thing. So many bad things. I cannot say how bad this is. I don't even like the idea of the stripper van that has a pole in it because, again, they're not using their safety belt. So they need to have a harness that's descending from the ceiling, and if they're going to do that kind of stuff, to stay safe. So bad idea. Bad. All right, and the last idea, the car desk. Again, like Kate said, it already exists. It's a little thing that just shoves up against your steering wheel. And these are terrible. Like, I'm going to put it ideas going towards bad because it exists and people do use it when they're parked, it's okay. But sometimes people don't use it when they're parked either. So it's not a good idea. So ideas going towards bad is all I got for that one. And that's it. Those are my pile-ins.
Thanks, Alex.
We should probably thank our listeners.
Thanks, everybody, for listening today.
Thank you for joining us on this adventure.
You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Stitcher, Pandora, Sirius Radio. We have a Facebook page. We're on Instagram at Ideas All Day Podcast. You can contact us at ideasalldaypodcast@gmail.com. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wear your seatbelt.
Yeah.
And don't pull in the car.